Muscle building work is going to be minute for minute a more effective way of improving insulin sensitivity than any kind of aerobic activity, and that's because muscle is the great consumer of glucose. And back to in fact, not only does muscle eat the most glucose from the blood, but it's also how it eats the glucose when it's exercising. So earlier, we talked about how insulin kind of comes and knocks on the door of the muscle cell. And then the muscle cell will open the door and allow the glucose to come in, thereby lowering blood glucose, unless the muscle is exercising. When a muscle is exercising, and I'm kind of mimicking the contraction and relaxation of a muscle, when the muscle is exercising, it has its own way of opening those doors. So there's an insulin independent method where the muscle cell essentially tells insulin, I know normally I have to wait for you to come and open these doors, but I'm so hungry during this exercise that I'm not going to wait. And so the doors just open. So the contracting muscle has its own way to rush to pull the glucose in, which means, of course, that a person's going to have an easier time controlling their blood glucose, which in turn would mean a better time controlling insulin. But the more muscle a person has, the easier it is. And this could be one of the reasons why, if you look at longevity and look at the markers of muscle strength versus the markers of cardiovascular aerobic fitness, the aerobic fitness markers are terrible predictors of longevity. It's muscle and strength that predicts longevity for multiple reasons, including just the very act of living and moving, but also because if you have more muscle, you're going to control your glucose better, which means you're going to control your insulin better. Then you're back to these variables that people use to predict, or what are the most accurate indicators of longevity. It's who has the best glucose control. More muscle helps that happen.